So, on to segment number 7, and this one is going to be a little bit longer than the previous ones because for me this represents a slightly bigger issue than the other factors that, in my opinion, are causing the CFA charter to lose its value. But basically, what I mean by this is the fact that, for example, as you can see here, you have the old badges that candidates used to get back then before these far-reaching changes. And as you can see also here, it says level 1 passed, level 2 passed. So this is in some way consistent with what it says in the standards of professional conduct of the CFA Institute, which I'm going to get back to that a little bit later on. But as you can see here in the new badges, which as you can see right here, they are provided by another entity. It's no longer BASNO, it's Accredible. But these ones, even though of course, as you can see, they are a little bit more visually appealing, but for me they emphasize a major issue and a very potential inconsistency with the standards of conduct, and that is because it says CFA Institute, CFA Program, level 1, level 2, and so it does not say passed. And as you can see, as we will see later, this is for me an issue, and it contradicts a bit the spirit of the standards of professional conduct. Now it says, and upon the announcement of these changes, the CFA Institute states that this improved digital badging strategy will reinforce the value of level 1 and level 2 achievements to candidates on their CFA program. Now, this statement here attempts, in my opinion, to give a little bit more value to the steps along the way that CFA candidates achieve as they go through the program. And moving on here to the next page, on paper, this might seem a reasonable attempt to grant candidates some credit for the progress along the program, as I mentioned, and like the charter itself, when you get the charter and you say that you are a CFA charter holder, you signal to the prospective employers and to the job market in general that you acquired a specific level of skills and knowledge, and also some dedication, discipline, grit to the job market. And so you are by your achievements, you are a resilient professional, capable to handle pressure, to commit to a schedule, and this of course are all positive traits and qualities that you will be able to signal to prospective employers. Now, this for me is a bit of more of a it's a less worthy of a reason, which is reduced candidate dropout, which is noticeably higher after failing level 2. If you search online, you'll see that if you search for candidate dropout throughout the CFA program, you will see that most of the dropout rates happen after they pass level 1, but once they attempt the level 2 of the CFA program, many candidates find that it's a considerable step up in terms of difficulty, and that's why they feel, all right, level 1 already gave me plenty of knowledge, and level 2 seems far more difficult and probably unsurmountable for me, and so probably, and of course then if I still pass, I will have to go through the level 3, and so probably this is not worth the amount of hours and dedication that I will have to go through, and I want to get on with my life and do something else. And so by attempting to, by giving these badges, the CFA Institute apparently wants also to give some sort of a prize, a midway prize for the candidates who pass level 1, and so they get a bit of a carrot before they get the stick, which is basically going through the toil and the process of preparing for the level 2. But as I mentioned in here, I strongly question the merit of the reinforcement of value of these intermediate achievements, and also the merit, not only the merit, but also the validity of these intermediate achievements, because, and as I will show here, candidates, and this is a citation of the Standards of Professional Conduct of the CFA Institute, candidates for the CFA designation must never state or imply that they have a partial designation as a result of passing one or more levels of the CFA exam. I can show you here where this citation comes from. This is, by the way, the Standards of Professional Conduct. This is here the Standard 7B, with the reference to CFA Institute, the CFA designation, and the CFA program. And if you scroll here to the page 206 in this PDF file, meaning 182 in the standards, you'll see that it's right here. Must not state or imply that they have achieved any type of partial designation in a manner not authorized or permitted by the CFA Institute. And it says in here, the citation that it's on the PowerPoint, candidates for the CFA designation must never state or imply that they have a partial designation as a result of passing one or more levels of the CFA exam. Now, with this in mind, let's back to full screen. Now, with this in mind, by stating this, CFA program level 1, CFA program level 2, this is awfully similar to a particular example that, and especially conducive to materialize a particular example of the Standards of Professional Conduct that states that a person may claim, I pass this, and the fact that these badges say CFA program level 1, CFA program level 2, these are very much conducive to a particular example of the Standards of Professional Conduct that say that a person, even though it may claim I passed the CFA level 2 exam, alright, good, it is consistent with what the badge says in here, but these new badges are not consistent with the claim that it cannot be done, for example, CFA level 2. And again, is in standards, because later on you have examples of improper and improper references to the CFA designation, and you have in here, of course I got those on the PowerPoint, those from here, proper references, I passed the level 2 exam, alright, good, but CFA level 2. And this is, even if you say CFA program level 2, this is exactly what is stated in the badges, in the new badges. And because this is what you can see here. And for me, this is an attempt to reward and give a little more value to candidates who reach these levels, level 1, level 2 in the program, but they do this in a way that it is, in my view, purely for the purpose of promotion of the program, even, in my view, going against what the standards says. And so, for me, the rollout of these new badges may be sending a counterintuitive message to CFA candidates, especially as they state CFA program level X, like this, and the word passed was removed. And so, I cannot be any clearer than this. In a nutshell, the CFA Institute seems to be prioritizing growth metrics like reducing the candidate dropout, number of registrations to exams, over its core values. And for me, this is really a no-go when it comes to commercial decisions and the way an institute, a highly reputed institute such as the CFA Institute, should be acting. And not to mention, and this is my perspective, of course, there are other consequences, bad and worrisome and concerning consequences with this decision by the CFA Institute by the CFA Institute and by the extension towards the CFA program, which is the erosion of the charter's prestige. And why is that? Because the program, for anyone, any charter holder, and even for everyone who passed the level 3 but for one reason or another never asked to get a charter for any reason, we all know that the CFA program is a rigorous and multi-year program, all right? And it's by basically pushing and impinging the intermediate level badges, you are effectively overstate the value of the knowledge acquired only with these partial levels, when in fact the CFA credentials are only fully attained when the 3 levels are conquered and the required work experience is obtained. And there is no way around this. You only get the charter if you reach the necessary work experience and you pass these 3 levels. So, because these are the utmost demonstration that you acquire the knowledge, you know this stuff, and you are able to put it in practice in a professional setting. And by saying that, oh, I obtained the badge for level 1, oh, I obtained the badge for level 2, this also is a bridge to my next point. It has no real value to employers. From my experience in the job market, and I already got the charter for almost 3 years now, as of the date of this video. I would say that I was interviewed almost hundreds of times, at least many dozens of times, by employers. And I can tell you, most employers only care if a job candidate is a charter holder or not, because if they really want to hire such a person, for example, in the job descriptions, say CFA charter, having the CFA charter is a very strong advantage. It's never mandatory. I never found a job in under any circumstances in which says being a CFA charter holder is a hard requirement. No. I saw already many times that it's a plus or a strong advantage or a very strong advantage, but never saw it as a requirement. But if an employer wants to hire a charter holder, or if it sees the charter as having a very strong advantage, they don't really care. They don't really care if the person has already the level 2 or has a level 1. Either you are a charter holder or not. And the job descriptions never say they want someone who already passed level 1 or level 2. They may say that the person may be has to be willing to go through the program, but it never says that they want someone who passed level X. And so pushing these badges not only for me gives a misrepresentation of the value but of the charter, and erodes the charter prestige, but also may give CFA candidates an incentive to misrepresent the value of these levels. Because, and I say this because there are some employers who may be less familiar with the CFA program, and so if there are some candidates who may say, "Oh, I went through the CFA program and I am a level 1 or I'm a level 2," and some employers may be misled into believe that, oh, this person already got the charter, when in fact it does not. And for me, this gives only an incentive for candidates to push and to say that make it appear that they got through the program when in fact they did not. And of course, this opinion is even more personal. This encourages a participation trophy mindset. And when I say by this, is that, as I mentioned before, the CFA program is a standard for excellence, and the rewards for the program are meant to be not binary. Either you are a charter holder, and a byproduct of that is becoming a part of an elite group of professionals, or you're not. And by emphasizing the value of intermediate levels, the CFA Institute is actually eroding the charter itself and emphasizing the value of these intermediate levels. The participation trophy, if you search online, is the kind of a prize that everyone gets just for showing up. Even if you don't perform at the same level as the top people in any endeavor, you always get something for yourself. And in my view, this is something that is enough to be celebrated on social media, but and of course in many circles, social circles among people, but it really doesn't mean anything. It only means something when you reach the end of the program and nothing else. And basically, yeah, you can get your tiny achievements, but it really never means as much as the charter itself. And so for me, the fact that this, like every other tiny achievement, is celebrated on social media, and the highest dropout rate in the program happens after the level 1 is achieved, only aggravates this issue, because many times it can happen that people get the badge for level 1 and they feel, oh, all right, I already got enough to show that I went through the program, even though not even halfway, but I already got something out of the program, so I'm good as it is. I already got some of the knowledge. I'm not willing to pursue it any further and get to the excellence standard that the program surmises. And so for me, yeah, I'm good enough. And for me, this situation only aggravates the issue of the highest of the dropout rate in the along the program. And so, as a conclusion, for me, reinforcing the value of the badges, of these intermediate badges, only provides superficial recognition, dilutes the integrity of the brand, given the fact that it may be inconsistent. I'm not a legal person, and for me, text interpretation may not be. I believe, I consider myself to be pretty good at interpreting the texts that I read, but for me, this is on at least borderline inconsistent with the standards, and it has, on a more social level, the potential to confuse stakeholders, employers, for example, and rewards incomplete efforts. You get something without putting the full work in, and for me, this even I can. Let me just go ahead and put something else in here. Reward mediocrity. There is no other way to put it. And yeah, for me, I think this is more than enough to understand that no, it should never be this way. You should we and our society as a whole should reward excellence, grit, and hard work. Never mediocrity.